for when I go to Europe in June.
Right.
So
And we are live. Aurora, Isles of Gold. In dark and mournful times of old, did once a hopeless horror hold. When her mount did spring, with storm and flash, a monstrous thing, his name Dagon, the Under King. Welcome, Pirate Council. May our tall tales please you. When we last left our heroes, so long ago, many, many weeks ago, they had ransacked the living ship, the Porvenir, now a carcass, sunk to the bottom of Fell Key. They had also rescued a cleric from its bowels, Lot Van Qualen, who has changed out of her black vest and loose red pants and is sort of hanging out in secondhand clothes as you make your way to a port she's recommended towards the southwest of a city called Pahinga, also known as the Mangrove City. Now, is there anything between last session and this session that we need to go over again? It has been 2 weeks of no D&D as we sail on to new shores.
I'll take
No.
that as a no.
Yeah, I can't think of anything.
All good. Well, you sail southwest. Let's actually pull up the map here. She directs you a couple of days' travel to the southwest to Pahinga, well out of the Emerald Trading Company kind of trade areas. You see other merchant vessels cruising around, of course. Most of them steer well clear of you, and are able to pull yourself into this small, cozy little port town. And your crew, having been at sea a couple of days, or I guess a couple of weeks at this point, are all eager to disembark. But are there any kind of conversations you wanted to have before you hit landfall and disembark?
Should we burn through our nightmares while we were traveling for that time?
I think you could have one long rest during this journey because you're at sea. But I think a long rest
it isn't too restful. Yes,
that's right. Captain Paulie works you pretty hard. The other ships may have a skeleton crew. You have a zombie crew, but it is still plenty of work to go around.
They are skeletons, partly. All right, so we should get one of those out. Was that just a con save?
Yeah. So those of you who still have nightmares to get through, it is a.
I think it's a wisdom save.
I think it's a wisdom save. It's the save that no one likes.
Ah, yeah. Okay. Well, I'm gonna guidance myself before having this rest.
What?
Oh my god, that is an 8. So 1d4.
See if I can find the
That's a 9.
Ah.
Wait. Do I have anything I can fix that with? I think I do. When I failed, where was it?
So your exhaustion levels are gone, Karu, having a nice rest. Now you, of course, the nightmares do revisit upon you. However, you are able to overcome them and realize that they're not real.
16.
I think a 16 will definitely cut it.
All right, no more nightmares.
I think Yama, while we're like setting sail, he does want to pour like a cup of tea for Captain Paulie, and like just kind of have a chat. I guess like I don't really want to like play it out, but he just wants to like maybe get to know Captain Paulie better. I feel like he's misunderstood him. We've had a few hot moments lately.
absolutely, yeah.
I love this.
Yeah, so he pours Captain Paulie his new brew, and
All right. Well, do you want to go into the captain's quarters?
Yeah, sounds good. And he does the full tea brewing ceremony, and he passes you a fun little tea. If you wanted to roll, let me just find it here. Class features. Sorry. Okay.
Yeah, I think my food just arrived too, though. But you keep going.
Oh, do you want to roll a d6?
Sure. Yeah.
So Yama's just been like testing his brew kit out a little bit, making some of his own tea concoctions. A 6 means that you get transformation on the experimental elixir table. And so your body is transformed as if by the alter self spell. You can determine the transformation, and it lasts for 10 minutes.
I really like the idea that I don't even notice that I'm transformed. So we're going to have a serious conversation. So wait, what do I roll to be transformed? I don't get to choose, do I?
I guess it's whatever Paulie's thinking of at the time while he's drinking
Yeah,
it, right? Or like whatever Paulie thinks he looks like.
because it's determined by you. So
Oh, it's determined by me.
Yeah.
Right. Okay. Okay. No. This can work. I like this. So, all right. Paulie. Oh, actually, sorry. The food just arrived. Sorry, 1 second.
I'm just imagining
One sec.
Yama just going through this hella chill, like long ceremony, pouring the tea, passing it off to his captain. Yeah, just
And every, I assume the tea ceremony takes a good sort of 20 minutes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And sort of every 5 minutes, one of the crew members kind of bursts in to ask a question. He's like, oh, sorry, and kind of backs out.
serious.
And then like
business.
5 minutes later, someone different bursts in.
Paulie's definitely being a bit awkward about this because he knew this was coming,
Yeah.
So let's say Paulie turns into like he's meek. So okay, let's say this. First off, his color, like the color of his feathers, kind of gray. So he looks like a black and white photo painting, like photo of himself. He's a bit melancholic over this because he knows this chat was coming, and he kind of just feels bad because he's like, he doesn't like to admit that he's wrong, but he was definitely wrong. So yeah, for now that's what that's like. So like his feathers kind of wilt, and then he goes, but respecting the tea ceremony, he's gonna just have really idle, bad chit chat. Like, so, crazy weather we've been having in this new world, right?
Yeah, there's been a few storms. I've heard a few tossing and turning as our crew's been up late. I think it's a bit of the lingering effects from that Fey realm.
Yeah, Fey realm. Yeah. How about that Nesbit guy? He's a character.
Captain, you don't have to worry. I'm not super mad at you. I don't know. You just lose yourself sometimes, or you're.
All right, some of the color slightly comes back to me when you say you're not mad at me, and like just a slight bit, still a bit grey, but like monochromatic.
No, I'm definitely not here to berate you. I guess we just you guys saved me, and then we got ambushed by my brother's army, and then we've just since then we've been on, and there's always been something to do, someone to go and find, or something to shepherd, and some money to make. And
Look,
I don't know. I just want to make sure we're on the same page.
No, we are. Look, and I think what you said was important, right? I don't want to be the, like the gangplank, like the newest gangplank. I don't want to be that. I want us to be.
I'm just gonna stop you there. Kate, your microphone's going crazy.
Mine has.
Oh my, Kate, I can hear a lot of like.
Oh, give me 1 second.
Interference. Sorry.
That's all right.
I'm just gonna mute Kate while you reply.
Okay.
Assuming she can hear us.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. I don't want to be the next gangplank. I don't want to be the next gangplank. I want us to be our own crew. And like, look, I mean, it's hard. Cause I'm really good at killing people. Like, really, really good at it. Like, it just happens, and it's come so naturally. And I'm breaking a lot of things trying to think about how we should be and who we should be as a pirate group. So look, I'm listening.
Did you just kind of fall into this role as the captain?
Yeah.
How long have you had this vessel, this crew?
Jeez. A month?
Oh, that's all right.
Yeah, like a month, I mean, I'm the only one who'd been at sea before when we first joined up together. No one else really had. And I mean, it's been a dream of mine. I want to do it right. So, like, look, no, I don't have anything wrong with you telling me when I'm doing the wrong thing. In fact, I want you to. I want to do this right.
Do you have a goal in mind?
Yes.
Can I ask what it is?
Not yet.
All right.
But I will give you the answer. I won't leave it alone, but I think it's something that I want to tell everyone. because I want everyone to be on board with
that
it.
that I absolutely understand. I just
'Cause-
I'll tell you my goal is to do everything the opposite of how I've been living in the Hobgoblin Society, basically.
And how was that?
That was death and warmongering and pillaging and just ruining lives. And I've broken away from that, and I want to help people. I want to redeem myself if that's something that I can achieve. I've done absolutely horrific things in the past, and I just don't want that anymore.
Oh, of course. And like, look, I get that. I think though where we need to we're pirates, right? And I think it's not we don't have to do these horrific things, but we need to have an image of that, right? Because the best way to be a pirate is to have a name that's feared. But I think maybe what we need to do is scare people. So be and look like we are these horrifying people who are going to murder and blah 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 blah. But we don't.
Can be intimidating.
Yeah. You know, like I mean, so if you can bring that out, I reckon we go for that. You know, we got this
Yeah,
image of us being
so-
horrible people, but we're not. You know, we end up looking after the crews that we look after. You know,
Yep.
we take on
I
the
can-
guys that are good.
I can see the merits of that, spreading fear just to prevent bloodshed. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I can absolutely understand that would if anything work in our favor and we can maybe accomplish more if people were to be more likely to step out of our way.
That's what I'm thinking we should do. This is why I wanted to talk to you. And then, like, at this point, Paulie's colours are pretty much back. He's getting really, really excited, you know? Like, you can tell, like, and he, actually, you know what? He's gotten a bit more buff, you know? Like,
Oh, he's getting broader. Like,
yeah. Like, you know, and as he gets into this idea of what he wants us to be, like what he wants the La Floridita to be, and then what the crew wants to be, and you know what, he waffles on for about 10 minutes straight about this like ideal of like, you know, the perfect pirate crew and how fucking shit sky giants are, you know, like he's just literally rambling.
yeah, but like Yama is actually attentively listening to all of it. Like you think you're just like going off chops, but he's like, oh yeah, okay, don't yeah. So he's thinking about how he can like contribute to like the intimidation factor.
Perfect. Yeah.
Yeah.
Like, you know, chuck some like gunpowder in, like, you know, like my feathers, and then make it look like the wicks are going off, and then boom, you know, like, yeah. But that's it. So, you know, like, not to get into full detail, but like, you know, I've given you like a fucking full description of how I want us to be intimidating, and then I'd love it if like you added things in. That'd be great.
Yeah, absolutely. And maybe Yama's even sitting there. Maybe he started like polishing his sword or something, just so that
Yeah.
it's extra shiny or something.
No. Keep the rust on there. It'll look like we're gonna give him tetanus.
Oh, you think so? All right,
Yeah.
all right. He like
No one wants to get stabbed by a rusty blade.
Oh, okay. He like spits on it a little, but then he's kind of like wipes the spit off when you're not looking.
But yes, keep pulling me up, please. I need a moral compass. I won't lie about that. I'm not perfect, and I don't know what I'm doing. I am,
Well,
to use a
none of
very
us
bad
are.
pun, winging it.
God, that is pretty bad, my captain. But yes, none of us are perfect, but I'm happy to be at your shoulder.
Could have shot that guy. Yeah, I could have shot him, but I didn't shoot him.
Good restraint, and he just like slaps you on the back.
All right, can I try pour some like some hat whiskey into your drink?
Oh,
Or
you're
offer
gonna
you?
try and sleight of hand me or what?
No, I was to offer you hat whiskey.
No, I appreciate it, but I don't drink anymore. I'm not a young man, and yeah.
I mean, technically, by Aaron Cochrane years, neither am I. And then just swigs a fucking like swigs both shots. All right, I was like, this is a good chat though, Yama. And like, look, you know, we can talk about this more, you know. And look, I will tell you the plan, like, or what I want to do.
Yeah.
It's just
I'm
I
very
don't know.
curious to hear.
I don't know if we're ready for that yet. Because then once it's said, it's got to happen. So I think it
Oh,
needs
yeah.
to wait.
I'm sure the crew will hold you to it.
Yeah, and that's what I'm afraid of.
All right, good chats. I'm glad that potion turned out cool.
Paulie actually walks out, and he is feeling 10 times better. So he looks like the Chad of Ara Cochran's right now. You know, like the Giga Chad of Ara Cochran's right now. You know, can you
does a
feel my
few
heart
more
bringing me to
buttons.
horizons playing in the background as he just walks out? You know. Yeah, good chat. Thank you.
Love it. All right. Who wants to go next? Karu, Zorn, what are you up to?
Zorn's just chilling, going over, like checking out his scythe and trying to figure out a course of action that he can take to try and talk everyone else into going along with his plan.
So we cut away from the plans being concocted in the captain's quarters to the plans being concocted in Zorn's broom closet.
Yep, he's chilling.
With pure darkness.
Yep. Oh, it's not pure darkness to Zorn. Yeah, he's definitely trying to figure out how we can get to. I can't remember the name of the place now because it's been too long.
Prismia?
That's the one.
Hey.
All right. So you all experience Zorn being in his room, possibly with loud music playing, with a sign on the door saying "Go away," and just a lot of.
Yeah, there's no music. There's just dancing lights, alternating colors.
Yeah, underneath
He's got
the
his
door.
he's got his
you just see
RGB lights on.
RGB lights and his globe of darkness alternating, preventing a look in, I guess.
I feel like there's a sign on the door that says no Paulies allowed.
Now the door is just like inky blackness. You can't even see where the handle is because he's cast darkness on it. You can try
excellent.
and get in, but good luck.
Karu, that leaves you with any of the rest of the crew or the new arrival.
Yeah, I think Karu probably spends all his time just like finding any job that needs to be done on the ship. Kind of like continuously keeps himself busy. Because anytime he sort of stops and like has a moment to himself, he thinks about the fact that he just ran into a guy that kind of looks like his dead friend. And he kind of goes, nope, no, I'm not ready for that. And he just like keeps, and like, yeah, and maybe he goes and talks to Lot a bit. But judging by when we met her and how she talks, I feel like after a while that conversation is just like, cool. Yeah, cool. Like it's just like she just like brushes him away after a while, and he's like,
yeah, I think like if you're looking to keep busy, she certainly keeps you busy. In terms of every time you're kind of wandering around. She obviously has no tasks to do on this ship. She doesn't work here. But she's like, oh, excuse me, I'm so sorry to bother you again, but could you? All my clothes were kind of really gross, so I put them in this sack. If you could just handle that. And do you have any like? There's this kind of. I found some plain stuff. She's wearing just sort of plain trousers and a shirt. She's like, if you've got anything else, that'd be great.
so you want me to wash your clothes? Is this what this is? And he holds the sack up.
Well, I mean, if you can, or at least just store them somewhere till we get to the Mangrove City. They have a bathhouse there. I was thinking.
No. I can wash him, and he dives off the side of the ship, and then like latches himself to the side of the ship, and she can just see, and he's just dragging the bag, and he's like, "See, water, clean."
Oh,
and he just like throws it over.
Super lovely. Yeah, throws it up, splat onto the deck.
Comes back up, and he's like, "Anything else you want?"
She's like, so you're from the so you part of the church? I mean, I don't think I've seen anyone quite like you before.
What are you talking about? What about it?
Hold on. Sorry, hold on. The sun's in my. Can you just stand like right there? Good. Yes.
No, he doesn't. No, he doesn't move. He goes the other way.
Yeah.
He goes the other way until she turns and then the sun's like behind her, and then he like ducks down so that she's like casting a shadow on him. And he's like,
good. At one stage, you've washed her clothes while she's asked you this question, but then she's drying them out. She's out here in the sun, whilst you're doing odd jobs around on the deck, and she kind of just asks you small questions about where you're from. In particular, so how did you get into this life? Where'd you meet up with these sort of non-citizens?
Anytime she asks him about his past before he was on this ship, he's just like, I don't know. I don't have a good memory. He's just like, yeah. And like part of it's deception, but for the most part, he doesn't trust any of his memories. So he's just like, sure. And then he's like, oh, yeah, they found me somewhere. Where did they find me? I'm kind of playing him like Dory, I've just realized.
Just keep swimming. He's
just like, Dory but scary. He's like, oh, these guys seem like they could hold their own. So I figured I'd tag along for a bit. I didn't really have any goals or particular jobs to do at the time. We were just kind of trapped in this ghost ship thing, I think.
And she kind of, at one point, she was like, are these guys pirates?
Is that a problem?
Depends what kind of pirates you are.
Pirates that saved you from a ship that was probably just going to eat you. So good pirates for you.
That's true. You're no friend of the creatures below, I guess.
Definitely not, especially if you're talking about the Kraken.
Yeah, in fact, that's part of my order, is to prevent creatures like that from, encroaching on the prince's territory.
Good. Yeah, that thing needs to stay as far away from me as possible.
Didn't we have a Kraken like skull on the front of our ship anyway?
I think it's very heavily decayed.
Corpse.
It seems there's no bones on it, right? So it's just like sort of a desiccated husk. Where the mermaid would be on the prow of the ship. Is sort of like the remains of an underdark Kraken.
I don't think Kaoru has worked out what it is yet. Because he's definitely gone around the ship and scoured it, and he's probably got to that and he's like,
Looks but at this stage, with it falling apart and stuff, it probably looks like a really old kind of net or sack, right?
Yeah.
Like it's lost all shape for sure.
Yeah, it's like, that's a weird looking mermaid.
Very cool. All right. Sweet. So after a couple of days of this, you make it to the mangrove.
Yeah.
Oh, sorry, Tim.
Oh, sorry. I definitely wanted to talk to Karu about what happened with that friend of hers.
Yes.
You have to find me because Kaoru is making work. He's like,
oh yeah, okay, done. I'll try find Karu.
Like you probably have to like ask around like the crew.
I'll try. Can I just roll like a perception and see if I find him on the way?
Sure.
I'll do the same because Yama's also maybe coming along.
Maybe after our conversation, like, actually, you know what, we can say, like, actually, let's go talk to Karu about this. And I want to find out about her, her mate.
I think there's a lot going on with Karu at the moment, so...
We should definitely talk to her about that.
I'll do a stealth.
Karu's dude.
He might know. I added that in the end, sorry. I'm sorry. Him. Yeah, let's go talk to him about it.
You look for Karu, you look high and low. Yama, you definitely don't find him. Whether that's because Karu does his chores to the front of the ship and then slips off the front of the ship and swims around to the back, and then so you're doing a floor by floor search.
I reckon they hear a splush like every now and again, like when they get close, and they're like, "What is that noise?" And what it is like he's like, "Oh fuck, I know they want to talk to me," and he just He goes off the side of the ship because he can breathe underwater. So I reckon at some points when he can tell that Yama and Paulie are looking for him, he probably actually just like latches to the bottom of the ship.
Cleans
Underwater.
barnacles.
And he's like, oh my god, it's filthy under here, and that's like how he distracts himself for like however long he's under there. I mean, you can find him eventually, but I would say, like, if you want to have the talk,
a day of that at least for sure.
Yeah, but like we can still talk. It's
Paulie's made like really poorly drawn, like, you know, like missing posters for you for Karu
on the ship.
Yeah, literally on every mast. There's just like one of these posters.
And you just keep walking back and forth in front of Lot, who she's just like hanging out on the deck. Has made like a little kind of like chilling area for herself. Reading a small pamphlet, stolen sunglasses on her face. As you know, you just walk past, going like, "Have you seen this fish man?"
Yep, absolutely.
I reckon eventually you do spot like Karu maybe coming up after like a solid day of barnacle cleaning. Like he's like, they're not looking for me anymore, and then like he comes up over the side, and you're all just like chilling on the deck.
No. Paulie's definitely still frantically handing out the posters. Every zombie already has one, and they're getting a second one.
And they all point. They all just like they're just like, here, found him.
Paulie's like visibly relieved. It's like, oh my god, we were looking all over for you.
I was cleaning the bottom of the ship.
Well, we want to get your advice on like how to like properly intimidate like another ship. Like be pretty sick. And I know you're buff and cool, so you know how to scare people.
Okay. Intimidate another ship though. I've only ever really intimidated people. Like,
yeah, I mean it's just the same thing, but it's wood.
Yeah. But like the ship can't like grow tentacles or extra fangs or anything like what I can do.
That's exactly it. Who would, you know what I mean? Yeah. Well, I mean, like, look, there's people on the ship. I guess they're the ones who are intimidating. I think I worded that very badly.
Okay. You don't want me to intimidate the ship.
I mean, if you could intimidate the ship, that'd be cool.
You want me to intimidate the people on the ship?
Yeah, that as well.
Right. Okay, gotcha. Sorry, we did just fight a ship that was alive.
I didn't even think about that. Hey, actually, speaking of that, what's up with your pal friend? You know, the guy you look like or something like that. Paulie's definitely trying to just like disarm you into talking about it. Yeah.
Hard swerve into the conversation.
Yeah. What he thinks is being subtle.
Not quite a segue, but hey.
Yeah.
I think like Kara is like immediately like, oh yeah, that was so weird, right? He was like me. In
this time, could Yama and Paulie have devised a plan to like trap him, so like trap him, so that way he can't escape when we start asking these questions?
So we're like grilling him, like interrogating him.
Yes.
As long as you get in between him and the side of the boat, you're probably fine.
And that was exactly what I was thinking.
Okay, so maybe
like I give you like one of those eye glances the second I ask the question to get behind him.
Yeah. So like you make this like really obvious face at Yama, and Yama just kind of sidles and like leans on the side of the boat, like he's being casual.
Is there anything about like that I could like?
Oh no, we're not being subtle even about that.
Yeah,
I feel
Kara immediately knows what's going on with this. He's just like you see him like tense up, and he's like, what do you want to know? I mean, I can only tell you what I know.
Yeah, I mean, who is he to you? Like, we want to know about you. You're a bud.
We also just kind of want to like help.
Yeah.
So. I thought he was dead. That guy. His name was Gular. I don't know if that's what his name is anymore. But I used to run with him in my old group before I looked like this. Before I was anything like this.
When you were an elf.
Yeah, like what you saw in that funhouse mirror.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. We were in a group. we were like a little like kind of like a suicide squad kind of thing, in the sense that like we would do jobs that other people wouldn't do because they were too risky, and we would
Right.
do it because we had a good success rate. And
So you guys were badasses.
well, yeah, definitely.
Yeah, fist bump.
and I and then Kara's just like, huh, like he loosens his guard a bit. He's like, yeah, actually, yeah, right, I was. Like, yeah, and then there was a job that went really wrong, and some of us got out and some of us didn't. And he was one of the people that didn't. Or we never found his body, so we assumed he was gone. But
Were you guys like pirates, or were you by the ocean, or?
no, we were soldiers.
Mm.
Yeah, we were in like a. And Dan, if I butcher your lore, I'm sorry, but it's like
No. Absolutely. I'm loving this.
yeah, it's like no, we were soldiers. We were in the military. We were just this like group of ratbags that they didn't particularly like, except for the fact that we would go in and do the high risk jobs because we liked doing them because they were fun. But yeah, there was one that went wrong. 3 of us got out. The rest didn't. And Galar was one of the people that I didn't see come out. So I'm a little like freaked because not only like is he alive, but he kind of looks like he's done the same thing I've done. And I didn't think anyone else had done this. Because I didn't think after me, they stopped the experiments. I thought they'd stopped it.
Well, I mean, why would they stop it after perfection like you? Definitely, like Paulie's just trying to like grease up the wheels still.
Yeah, and Karu kind of like
grabs the bicep, like gives it a good squeeze.
So yeah, they didn't really see this as like a success. The whole memory loss thing, the whole not remembering anything, like I think it was a side effect of everything that isn't particularly helpful.
Right.
You know, you send an assassin out on a mission and he comes back and he doesn't fucking remember what he did. Like, a bit useless. But yeah, I didn't think anyone had done it after me. I was under the impression that the whole thing had been disbanded and pulled apart, but then Galar standing in front of me the other day looking like he had the same thing, and I'm freaked. Honestly, Captain, I'm freaked. I don't know what to do about this.
Do you want to go see him?
I mean, to be honest, like out of the entire group, he was like the biggest dickhead. Like if he's the one that survived, fuck, something wrong in the world. Honestly, like if he's the only one.
Yeah.
So
who was the one you wanted to see?
It was like 2 or 3 weeks ago. And you were like, I don't know what he's going by now. You heard him referred to as Aniwe.
Oh, that's right.
That's right.
Which in I think Kara, you would definitely know in the Elvish language is big skunk.
That's it.
He was the one I wasn't. He was the one I was going to kill. Had a pistol, like in kill mode, like in the side and everything.
Well, I think even Yama wanted to kill him because at one point he was holding Karu like by the throat and neck or something, and just he was bartering for him for a box, and he was like, "Whoa,
look,
this dude's fucked."
I don't think I'm really the same elf I was before I started the experimentation. Maybe if they did keep doing it and they got more successful, maybe there's more of you gets lost in it. Maybe Galar is not. Well, he doesn't even go by that name anymore. But maybe he's not anything like the person I knew. That's what I mean. He was always a bit of an ass, but I don't think he ever would have like traded me for a box back in the day.
Well, if we can't find Galar, what about them? The people who did this, or
What? Yeah, wasn't there a friend who you wanted to see that wasn't Galar?
Is it? I don't remember.
I also don't remember that.
Oh, okay. I thought there was a friend like as well that wasn't Galar.
There's one person that if he's back alive, like I would do anything to see him again.
Yeah. I think that's what it was. Yeah. So do you want to go try find them? I mean, look, you've got all of us to help you. More than
wouldn't
happy
get
to. I mean, I
answers
can't
to.
speak for Sorn. I mean, and then probably we just hear some like angry sobbing below.
Mage hand punching walls.
Mage hand punching
See,
Coley.
bullet for my Valentine playing. The tears don't,
Tears don't
fall.
fall.
You're all gonna die.
Yeah. Next nightmare check you all have to make is with disadvantage because Sorn's coming for you.
Someone's just standing over all our beds just to add to
I
it.
know.
Like, just
Dropping
breathing.
sand
remember
into
real
your
quick.
eyes.
Yeah, just remember real quick. Someone can place nightmares as well.
Yeah, he has a bag of nightmare shards that he's meant to be placing.
Cool and normal. Cool and normal.
Maybe you should have a cup of tea with Sorn.
Yeah.
Yeah, I might.
Yama
just
the
drop in.
group. Yeah, Yama the group therapist.
I think I'm gonna take profession therapist.
Yeah. Probably a
Um,
smart move.
Back to your question. Yeah, look, I would love to find. I just don't know where to go. I don't know where to look. Maybe
Well-
the old military, but like that seems like a. That
Well-
seems troublesome.
I mean, look, Glass said he'd pay heaps for those bloody things we found. You know, so maybe we go there, sell him that, and then try to get some information.
Maybe. I don't know. I do, and he looks over at like Diana Cloppington's still on our ship, right?
Yeah, she pretty much has to spend her time on the main deck, I think, too. Like, she can't
Yeah.
go beneath the deck because it's all like ladders and stairs and stuff.
Yeah, and I think
So
like
she's off to the side, pretending not to listen to the conversation, but
Yeah.
absolutely listening to the conversation.
yeah, and like Kara's
Eating
like
some nuts, like trying to crunch them really slowly to it's not be like obvious.
yeah has a newspaper, is trying to look like she's reading it, is not reading it.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think like Kara's like, yeah, I mean that would be great to like uncover all that information, and like, you know, the people I used to work for were bad people, so anything to undo all of that. But like, and he looks over at Diana and he's like, but I feel like we had like, I don't know where to start, but there's like things that we have on our list to do that we have more of an inkling for, don't we? And he's like, I kind of feel bad for her because she literally can't go down and sleep. Like I thought having a half horse lady on the boat would be super awesome, but she doesn't seem like she's enjoying herself. And none of my flirting's working. So
let's get rid of her.
no, not like that.
Throw her
He's like,
overboard.
no. Like, maybe
She
she-
said
maybe-
no.
No. Like maybe she wants land again. Like maybe it's just.
A really good way, I think, if we want to go down that path, is with this, and then Paulie brings out the watch, the Witchlight watch.
You pull it out of your pocket, and it's actually wrapped in a small, like, there's a small note folded. There's a small piece of paper folded, like, that comes out with it, and
Many fall
drops
in
onto
the
the
face
deck.
of chaos, but not this one.
Was it there before?
Today.
No.
I'll read it.
Oh,
fuck. You open it up and fold it open, and it just says, Isolde draws closer, and then in all capitals, return time to its keeper.
Someone's pissed.
Bring it back, bitch.
Now, have you tried to attune to this thing, Paulie?
Maybe I should. I haven't though. It'd be funny. What do you reckon, guys? Should I attune to it?
Absolutely.
Yeah,
All right,
it's
done. Let's
yours
do it.
now.
All right.
Actually, 1 second.
This
I
ghost
might
probably just
have to.
spontaneously combusts.
I might have to unequip something. Let me have a quick look. Where is attunement?
Many fall
There it is.
in the face of chaos, but not this one. Not today.
No, no,
you
my
for-
ring of poison resistance.
Thank you for all the subs.
All right, ring of poison resistance is gone.
Okay.
Sadly.
So over the course of the next
Ring
hour,
poison.
while you're sort of attuning to this thing, You actually find yourself.
Is it in my inventory?
Maybe not.
I'm trying to find it. I can't see it.
As you spend like the next hour or so as part of this day, spending more time with the watch, thinking about it, etc., you notice that you are starting to gain weight.
Oh
Right.
no, turning into Mr. Witch.
And you are hungrier and thirstier than normal.
Oh, really?
You gain probably about 15, 20 kilos over the course
That's a
of the
lot
hour.
for a bird.
Mm-hmm.
You can no longer fly.
But as you as you sit with
My
this
God,
thing
it can do
during that
so
time-
much. Yeah, it can do some cool shit.
Yeah. So you get a feeling of where the Witchlight Carnival is right now. And
Is it where we left it?
Yes.
All right, let's take it. Let's take it
Still
down.
unpacked.
Yeah, let's take it down.
Take it.
Pretty
What
sure-
do you mean take it down?
Like it says, carnival set up and take it down. The creature attuned to the watch can use an action to initiate the packing up or the unpacking.
Yeah. So you click one of the buttons on the watch
Yeah.
and then like turn the one of the dials.
Yeah.
And it starts sort of turning on the part of the face of the watch turns, and the little pictures of the tents and stuff like that starts packing themselves up and folding up over the course of an hour.
All right, so I'm fat now. Okay.
Yeah, I am going to say that you probably can't fly with this extra weight, or at least you're heavily impacted on your speed while trying to fly.
So is this our plan then? Should we get Sawn and
I don't know. I don't want to knock on that door.
Like this. Like I mean,
You
like
think
while
it's too
carrying
soon?
the
At
watch,
this
the
point,
creature.
Sawn will just walk out of his room.
I can cast Firebolt, Invisibility, or Message Spell.
Yes.
Wow.
I hear the wood creaking as Paulie gains weight, and I'm like, what the fuck's going on up there? Come upstairs.
Turns off. Tears don't fall.
No, the noise just follows me and it goes straight into all of your brains.
Eat and drink 8 times the normal amount. Fuck. All right, let's get fucking drunk. Let's go.
So you we kind of had this conversation. You come out later in the afternoon. I think a little bit visibly puffier.
I feel like I could slim the feathers down so it isn't too obvious.
Yeah.
'Cause 30 pounds isn't that much, is it? How much is 30 pounds?
That's 15 kilo, I think, right?
That's alright.
yeah,
That's
15
okay.
kilo.
So it's not
I
massive.
probably weighed like. Oh, actually, no. I probably like that. That's like a third of my weight. Let's be honest.
Yep.
It's
Yeah,
fucking
yeah,
that's a
hollow
pack on.
bird
I'm like 5 foot. Yeah.
Cool. So you were discussing the plan potentially to help Dinah Cloppington, Haru.
I mean, we can
Do
encourage.
you make it obvious when you're up on deck that you've got this thing?
Oh, are you talking about Paulie?
Yeah, sorry, talking to Paulie.
Yeah.
Do you make it obvious when you're on the top deck that you've got this watch?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. I
He's
don't hide.
waving it around.
Yeah, I'm literally like I'm swinging the chain. You know.
Yeah, you hear Diana
With reckless
Cloppington, who
abandon.
stops pretending not to see or hear you guys in your secret conversations, and just says, "Where did you get that?"
From that guy at the carnival.
You stole Mr. Witch's watch?
I guess I did.
Oh no. Okay.
I mean, but look at it. Isn't it pretty? And I swing it a little bit more closer to Diana's face.
She kind of recoils from it a little bit and is like, huh? Yep. Okay. They're going to be so mad. Oh, no.
Can they find us?
They're not being sort of semi in the Fae. They're not really restricted by normal space like you and I are.
Right.
they weren't always the proprietors of the Witchlight Carnival.
Who is? Who was before?
There was a mage who kind of operated it, and she's sort of like an elf, but like a fancy elf. I don't really know much. But she was running the Witchlight Carnival, and she kind of lost. I think she lost a. She essentially got tricked into swapping roles with Mr. Warwitch and Mr. Light. They were running a similar carnival, but in the Shadowfell. Do you know much about the Shadowfell?
Not a thing.
Well, you know how
Paulie's being very blasé about all of this, obviously.
well, you know how the Feywild is like what the normal world would be like if it was full of life energy kind of gone too far?
Yeah, I know that part.
Shadowfell's like what happens if death energy goes too far.
Right, so these guys are death carnival creatures.
They're kind of like death elves.
So wait,
That
they're
sounds cool.
Sorn's cousins?
Yeah, they're kind of even gloomier than him.
At this point, Sorn will come upstairs. She's like, the fuck you talking about?
Oh, I mean, I'm just showing Cloppington like this cool watch I stole.
I want no part in this, and I walk back downstairs. Like, nope, not worth it. I'm getting the fuck out of here.
Headphones back on. She says,
How much do you reckon it's worth?
I mean, it's probably priceless.
I mean, you can always put a price on it.
Yeah. Well, so here's the thing. Mr. Witch and Mr. Light promised this elf, hey, let's swap spots for a year and kind of a year and a day and kind of see who who actually has who can run the carnival better, and then after a year and a day we'll swap back and kind of trade stories, and who could be the ultimate running of the carnival. But Mr. Witch and Mr. Light kind of just kept packing up and moving on to stay ahead of her, and that's why they always move location every couple of days, and they only stick around for one night.
Well, it's probably good we're on a ship.
Yeah, but the carnival's still there. So she's gonna catch up and find them eventually if they're not moving.
Oh no, I packed the carnival away.
Right, so the carnival's all packed up, but then it needs to be moved.
Yeah. So it's packed up. Isn't it in this watch?
No, it's still in the plane, like in the pocket, in the realm it was in the Feywild.
Right.
So they'd pack it up and then they'd move it to another location or another world.
Okay, how do we get there?
Well, you're gonna need to find a portal into the Fey, and we're gonna have to find our way back.
Right.
To the carnival.
Okay. So we're gonna do this thing that Sorn wants to do.
Well, he did promise me he would also do that. I'm not sure if he told you.
All right, I'm
sorry, I don't want to get him in trouble.
I'm gonna like stand over like the floorboards above Sorn's room and just like thump at them and like, Sorn, come on, get up.
I like to think that the actual floorboards crack now. He comes back up and he's like, what?
So I think I fucked up.
Mm-hmm.
I wanted a shiny watch.
Mm-hmm.
I took the shiny watch.
Now we have to go give back the shiny watch?
No, I have to give it
well.
back. We can just sell it.
Murder
to
the
them.
people that owned it?
No murdering. We have discussed this. We're not going to be trying to murder as many people as we used to, unless they're trying to murder us. And then like gives Yama a wink.
Yeah, I get the feeling they're probably going to try to murder
Well,
us.
I mean, once again, if they try to murder us, we will murder them, right? But only the murdering when they try to murder us first.
I feel like
Mhm.
it's more likely that this female that came before Mr. Witch and Light may be doing the murdering.
I mean, would you reckon this
Mm.
female would be happy that we got the watch, and then we can give them the watch or trade them the watch?
Yes, it's
Well,
all
she'd probably,
marketing.
Diana says, well, she's probably happy that you've stopped them moving on, so that she can probably, when she finally catches up to them. But it does mean that when she catches up to them, their roles will reverse, and they will then be in charge of a Shadowfell carnival.
How
Mm.
bad
And they
is this
might be
person?
pretty pissed.
How bad is old?
Yeah.
I mean, she's an incredibly powerful mage. She was kind of put there by she was kind of charged with this role by Desire herself.
All right, we're gonna find her. Also, speaking of being a powerful mage and Sorn liking magic, does he know anything about Isolde
Give me a history check.
from my books?
Yeah, from your book reading.
No, I don't know shit. That's 5. Never mind.
Yeah.
I'll just shut up over here.
By the way, I like how it's like the description of this is like Wondrous item, legendary, requires attunement by a Mr. Witch or his hand-picked successor. I guess I did hand-pick it out of his pocket. So technically, I am his hand-picked successor. And the
All those
Fae
words are
are
correct.
all about their wording.
That's right.
Fuck, that's true.
Okay, fine. Let's go hand this watch back to Desire. Let's do that. That'd be more fun.
Oh well, that. Yeah. Well,
Isn't Desire who you didn't
we're
see?
not giving anything to Desire. I'm gonna go murder Desire, but
Well, I mean, we could get something out of them first, and then you can murder them.
Why do you
that works for me
Desire?
because Desire isn't friends with the person who asked me to murder Desire. Anyway, moving on.
Because someone asked you to murder someone doesn't mean you should.
Yeah,
Yep.
whose side are we on?
Yeah,
I
who's
speak into
asking?
everyone's brain right now. I'm like, but they let me do this.
Didn't you? But do what?
Yeah.
I was just like, do what?
Yeah, I'm pretty
And
sure
this,
I'm
and then
pretty
I
sure
summoned my weapon.
I'm pretty sure you were doing the murdering, like you were doing the speaking in brains before this.
No. Well,
Oh,
possibly.
well.
Anyway, so I've got the perfect item for what we need to do right now. So we're looking for a portal back, yeah?
A portal
Is
into
that-
Feywild.
Yes. Is there anything from the time that we spent in the carnival? Would I remember anything of note? Any objects or
we have the crown, don't we?
yeah, we have the crown as
Yeah,
well.
I still
that
have the
is true.
crown.
So you notice that it's not on you when you look above Yama's head. You have to like concentrate, but then you see it up there. But like when you're not concentrating, you can't really see it. But you can but Yama, you can faintly feel it there too.
Feel it. Mm.
But when like no one else can really see it unless they're really looking for it on the ship right now. If that makes sense.
Well, can you use it?
I think that question's at you, Son.
Yeah.
Oh.
And yes, there are
Well-
dad jokes to redeem in the channel points.
I've seen it. I'm very
I could
sorry.
inspect it. I could see if I could use it.
Sure.
I guess, but it was given to you, so I don't know.
Well, but what's your plan?
Oh no, I need something that is currently in the carnival. I was just
Oh.
going to cast locate item.
Hey, how can we do
Point
that?
us-
We're not in the carnival.
Yeah, does it
No,
work
is
across
there anything
roles?
I'm trying to remember? Do I remember something? that would point
Hey,
us in the
tell me.
way.
I remember plenty of things.
I remember buying the cupcakes, so the cupcake stand and the wine.
Sure.
And I definitely remember the Deals Warlock's little van because I made a deal with him, so I can't forget that.
Oh yeah, that you had to be pleasant to everyone.
I explicitly remember that one.
Yeah,
So
there's a great video
yeah.
about that.
Yeah. Well, it will only work if there is an entry point within 1,000 feet of us.
Well, we're in the middle of the ocean.
Yeah, maybe you never know. These Fae things, they're kind of weird. I mean, there could be one just over there, and someone just gestures to the ocean.
You see a portal? No, I'm kidding. You don't.
That's convenient.
So we could do that, or I can inspect this crown and see what I can do to get us in there.
So do you have an ability or a spell or something you're falling back on here, or?
No, I was going to use locate item because I've got a scroll, locate object, or make an Arcana check on the crown to see what I can do with said crown.
Well, give me an Arcana check anyway, and so you can see what this like sort of ethereal crown that you can see above Yama's head is all about.
I've just got another 5. Are you kidding me? Well,
you reach up to like grab it to get a closer look, and like your hand just goes through it. Like it's not physically there.
I think I can. Yeah, I'm gonna use my versatility and try again.
Yeah, sure.
That's a 16. That's a bit better.
Yeah. You think that this is more like the crown is definitely Fey in nature, and you probably you and Karu could probably have an easier time seeing it above Yama's head. Paula, you really have to focus to kind of bring it in to see it, and even then it's still kind of mostly ethereal. But you think it's more than just sort of like an object. Like it's not like it's transcended an object at this point. It's more like a title. But you know how the Fae are, like a title is also a living thing sometimes, or a promise or a whisper or a secret. Like but you think this crown above Yama's head is likely to become more real when you return to the Feywild.
So I can't pump any magic into it to try and either open a portal or accidentally kill Yama? It just explodes.
Good idea. Wait, what?
Accidentally, yeah, I was like nodding along until I was like not happy with it anymore.
Strike that last part from the record.
I just don't think that we have any way to get there right now.
All right, give me a minute. I'll just gotta ask someone something. And someone just like wanders off a little bit. And I'm gonna ask the dream if there's a way in to.
So describe to me what it looks like when you sort of enter into a trance or try and contact dream. What does that look like?
Sort of go down below deck where it's just dark, and do his normal like meditation trance. Sit, legs crossed, and think for a little while, and then try to reach out and say, "We're trying to get back to the carnival so that we have a way to get into Prismia, but the others didn't really think it through." So we left in rush and then didn't think about how to get back. So do you know any way back?
You in your mind's eye, you kind of drift off into sleep and you wake up upon the black sandy beaches of Dream's realm. He stands there before you.
Many fall in the face of chaos, but not this
down.
one. Not today.
looking down at you, sort of as you step up from your waking on the black sands, and he says, "You already have 2 outstanding tasks from me, and you ask for more power, more information, more help.
Well, I am trying to do one of those tasks.
Have you
To be
even
fair.
come to bargain? The scales are already weighed. Your debt piles up, little Faye."
What do I have to bargain?
Your left eyeball.
I mean, if I were to give up my left eyeball, I would then be level 3.
What? Can you even tell? Have you even begun your tasks? Can you even
I'm
name
working
them?
towards them. Well, I need to give people nightmares, that's for sure. And then I have to go fuck up Prismere. Trying to get to Prismere. Go fuck it up for you, you know?
Fucking up Prismere?
Yes. Gotta go see Desire about a thing.
That is not a task I have given you. All the tasks I have given you are in the mortal realm.
Yeah, but I feel like if I get over there to Prismere, I can then figure out other things. There are some powerful beings that are messing with some shit that are making my other tasks much harder to complete. So if I can
task
take
of
them down
delivering nightmares and
placing them,
trapping a rogue nightmare.
yeah, I have it on good authority that Novacrux may be in Prismere.
Very well.
So that's what I'm trying to get.
And so last time you could not accomplish your task. I had to intervene, and you're asking me to intervene again.
This is an intervene. This is an intervention. This is more
Is knowledge
push in the
not
right
power?
direction. Push in the right direction. Let's call it that.
Is knowledge not power? Is power not a commodity? What you
Well,
ask
this
of
is
me
fair.
comes not without a cost.
Yeah. Yeah. This is true. How about I offer you this cool musket that I found?
He looks at you, looks at it, and says, "What use do I have of lumps of metal?"
Cool trophy.
And he lifts a hand up, and just entire armies of musketmen sort of rise out of the sand, and he says, "This can be created here."
Yeah, but you had to expend power to do that. I was just giving you.
Your bargaining is weak, and perhaps I have erred on making you a champion to undergo my tasks in the mundane world.
Fine,
If this is
fine,
how
I'll
you go
figure it
about
out on
your
my own.
tasks,
And
I
I
am
wake up.
dismayed. You don't wake up.
Damn it. I'm trying.
Yeah, you try and close your eyes. You open them again, you're still on the beach.
Well then. I'll just be like, all right, just give me a moment. I'm gonna try and do that thing I did before where everything changes and it's somewhere else again. And we're in I can't remember the name of the city. Menzo Baronsan. Like above it floating. I'm gonna try and do that again.
Yeah, give me a we'll say a charisma saving throw.
Ooh, okay.
You try and exert
It's a
your
24
willpower on the world, and the beach kind of vanishes, everything goes dark, and you are floating above the city of Menzo Baranzan. What do you do?
I'm just gonna say, well, I don't think you spoke too soon. Because if I can do this, imagine what else I can.
You look down and you know in your heart that this is a figment of your memory. Like, this isn't the real Menzo Baranzan. You're not actually
Yeah, of course.
This is your memory of it for sure.
Yeah, it's completely different nowadays.
And you can you can see there are figures in here that are, people who are dreaming in the city, and they're also, helping construct this idea of Menzo Baranzan.
If I can bend them to my will, think of what I can do for you in the future when I get more powerful. And this is a way to get more powerful, you know?
Are you reaching out to him with your mind?
Yeah.
Okay. He appears next to you after you start talking, and says, "You cannot outrun me in my own realm."
I wasn't outrunning you. I was just showing you that I can do this.
You can wander in the dream. If that is all you've
Exactly.
taken from my power, I pity you.
Well, all right, I'll figure it out on my own.
And he sort of pushes back, sort of makes a sort of a shooing gesture, and you're flung back through the air and come awake aboard the La Floridita.
I walk back up to everyone and just go, well, that didn't work as intended.
What were you
Yeah.
intending to do?
I
Just
was
curious.
just talking to someone, seeing if they could point us in the right direction. He kind of told me to
How long was he
go
asleep
away.
for?
He was probably only asleep for like a minute. From Sawn's point of view, it was probably a lot longer.
Did
Like,
he just
went off-
collapse? Did he just collapse to the floor?
You probably heard him go into his room and then jolt awake, knocking something off the bed or whatever. And
Oh,
then
damn!
walk
I was
back
like
out.
hoping he just collapsed on the floor, because then I wanted to wake him up with me trying to give him mouth to mouth.
No, I sat down and went into
Damn.
a trance. Unfortunately. Sorry, Paulie. Beak to mouth. Yeah, that's not gonna work. So yeah, I was talking to the guy that gives me all my, we'll call him my patron. He's usually a quite friendly guy, but everything he wants to do is in deals. So I figured he'd be good with getting us back to the Fey realm. But he basically just told me to go away. Tried to give him this cool musket, and he was like, well, what do I have use of that? Blah, 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 blah. So we're just going to figure this out on our own.
Okay.
Cool. I mean, we could just head back to where we saw the carnival if we need to. Or we could, I don't know. Maybe we could try and find my dudes. I don't know what to do. I don't have anybody that I can just like go into a room and talk to.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I can go into a room and talk with you if you want. Like, I don't know what I can offer you, really. I'm
Yeah.
only good at killing people.
I can do that myself. Thank
Yeah.
you.
Yeah.
We all seem pretty
I mean, but
good
if-
at killing people.
If there's someone that you want dead that you don't want to go and kill, someone's just like, I can do that for you, and like nudges Karu. It's like, that's what I do.
Yeah, same. Like that's what I do too.
Yeah, well, let's not let the others hear, because they're sounding like they're getting a bit lame when it comes to like, killing people. I really enjoy it.
You don't have that sword still, do you?
Nah, that thing's gone.
All right, yeah, cool. Yeah,
I gave it to the patron. Like,
Yeah, okay, same, buddy, same. Yeah, kill. Yeah, great, cool. As long as you don't have that sword.
No, I have this thing now, and someone just like bamps the scythe into existence.
Oh wow, that pumpkin. Oh wow.
Yeah, that thing, and then I bamf it back away. Yeah, we're good. That sword gone. I do have to place shards of it under people's pillows, though. Eventually, for something. Don't worry about that.
Wait, what?
Nah, it's fine.
Wait, what? No, Hank, shards? What do you mean? Kara's just
Nah,
like, what?
just gotta give some mortals some harmless little nightmares.
You haven't been doing that to
harmless.
us, have you?
No, that came from the carnival because I copped those as well. Wouldn't give myself nightmares.
Kara just like steps back and just kind of crosses his arms like, huh.
Someone's being like genuine right now. Like you can see it on his face. He's like, no, I wouldn't do it to you guys.
Really?
I mean,
Maybe
don't-
Nez.
I mean, this is the DM interjecting here, and I don't know if Karu remembers Elven before they were turned into what they are now. Elves didn't sleep, so I don't know how Sorn says he's also getting nightmares, honestly.
That's actually like no, that's legit like what I was going with.
Sorry,
it's like,
sorry to steal
it's
it.
like the
Yeah.
idea that
I
like
didn't think about that.
elves don't sleep, they trance. So when he's like, I'm having them too, Kara's is like,
Uh-huh.
Pretty powerful nightmares. It's crazy shit, you know?
yeah, seen as, do you even sleep?
Well, I work for the dreaming, so I guess I'd have to be able to sleep now. Otherwise, I can't talk to them.
Hmm.
Anyway, change of subject. How do we find this portal? Someone's just like scratching like at the neck, just like,
Kara's just like narrow-eyed behind him, like. Yes, portal. How? How do we find? What are we doing? Where are we going?
Lot pipes up because she's been here the whole time, just below camera height, sitting there taking in the sun. She pipes up with, oh, I know a portal. Yeah. In the city we're going to, there's a port, and there's a hall, and they sell port, and they've got a bathhouse. I think you're all going to sleep much, much better. Get into your porthole or whatever after a good drink, some clean skin. I think it's a hot spring situation. Yeah, very sulfurous. It's good
Yama's just
for
like
the skin. Yeah.
Yeah, look,
so we-
I think why we don't have a real clear. I mean, Sorn can't get us with his wibbly wobbly magic time
Sorry,
lord thing.
Sorn.
Whatever.
Look, I've known lots of people that their magic just fails them every now and then. It happens.
Are you talking about yourself?
It happens to elves of a certain age.
Well,
It's kills for that.
She says, "My magic's good to go, buddy. I'm good."
Why? Since we don't really have a clear way of getting to the wherever we're going, and I have no fucking idea how to even begin to chase the dude that I ran into. Maybe we go to Hot Spring. That sounds kind of nice. Yama definitely seemed excited by that.
you guys will love hot springs, but also some little information gathering, could help us. Some
Sounds good to
direction.
me. Yeah.
yeah, all right, whatever. Let's figure it out.
So where do you recommend, Lot?
Well, the same place I recommended and that we are on course for. And so smash
perfect.
cut to pulling into port of the city of Pahinga.
Just like peeking behind the curtain. This is the DM going, for fuck's sake, guys, we're going to this thing that I
Well,
prepared.
if you're not gonna, it's more if you're not gonna have a plan, I'm gonna put you somewhere.
Yeah, we're going here.
You're spinning your wheels on this ship right now, it looks like. So let's put you somewhere
good.
where you can interact with other people.
Thanks,
do some
DM
research.
Daddy.
Thank you. We need it, clearly.
That's
Please.
fine.
Daddy us.
Well, as we get to if we're going to this as we get to port,
Yeah.
I want to pull out my scroll. I'm going to cast locate object and envision the little. I see it as like a little cart that the Deals Warlock was in.
Yep.
And see if it can point me towards a portal to
I
get
will-
there
as you
within
take it
1,000 feet
out,
of us.
As you take it out and you read through the you're pretty certain that the object itself has to be within 1,000 feet of you.
Mm.
It does.
So this object is in another plane of existence, so it's an infinite amount of distance from you. I like the idea
Yeah. Yeah, I've been playing too much WoW.
Yeah, I was just having a quick look because it says it's limited to 1,000 feet.
Yeah.
No, but I like where your head's at, but the apple cart idea it won't work, and you kind of
Okay.
realize that you need to think of something else. The scroll may still be able to help if something is within 1,000 feet of you, but the apple cart will not work because The apple cart itself is A, packed up, and B, on another plane of existence. So you need to think of something on this plane of existence that would help you.
Would the... I'm going to think on that for a bit. I'll think on that for a little bit.
Yeah, cool. Cool. All right, you pull up to the tavern. You pull up to the new city, looking like badasses. The mangrove city, deep within. You sort of pass by a lot of chains of islands, lots of little small kind of fishing villages and so on, and eventually kind of you're directed into this small port town on a tiny island. Well, not a tiny island, but like it's definitely a smaller town compared to what you've been hanging out in recently. Orly, as the captain, can you give me a perception check, please?
Absolutely. $22.
All right. As you pull into town here, and you're sort of pulling up at the docks, and there's sort of a main tavern that Lot is pointing out that's where we're gonna go. That's the Prince's Pearls.
Is there just like two brass knockers?
Yeah. And you see, like, as people go in, they actually like reach up and kind of like touch them as they.
They're like worn out. You know, like they're really polished. They're polished. Yeah. All right. Paulie will definitely give them a good rub.
That's not necessarily what you notice, though. What you notice in particular is that it looks like this part of town, where the docks is, a little bit more to sort of the west or northwesterly, where there's sort of a cliff face. There are a bunch of sort of rock formations, but you notice with your keen, eagle-ish, Aarakocran eyes, there appears to be a cave beneath where this tavern is. And from your vantage point, you can kind of see what appears to be rowboats docked up in that cave.
Right.
And I think only you notice this because of your smuggler pirate instincts. This is definitely a smuggler-esque kind of cave situation as you pull La Floridita into the main dock. Obviously, the cave is too small for La Floridita anyway, but there's definitely like a hidden dock somewhere in this town, yeah.
Okay, cool. I will definitely try and schmooze the dockmaster, because I'm going to be doing that at every single place we go into.
Cool. How are you schmoozing?
I'm going to use panache on him, because when they're not hostile, it just charms them.
Yeah, perfect.
So that's it.
You just got to make a wisdom saving throw, is that right?
That is correct. Give me a second.
And what's the DC?
Give me a second. Bloody lost myself. Where is it? Sorry, apologies. It's a contestation between my persuasion and their insight.
Okay. Give me a persuasion check.
27.
Oh yeah.
Jesus.
At first, I think he's a little bit standoffish when you pull into town, and Lot is like, "Oh, I'll talk to him." And before she's even got that out of her mouth, you're like, "I got this." And how do you swoop off the deck before the ship's even docked?
Absolutely, yeah, absolutely, yeah. And I panache the second I get off. I kind of like glide with the wings open, trying to look as fabulous as possible. Like my coat fluttering behind me as well. It's very elegant. And just go like, "G'day there. This is Paulie. I'm the captain of this beautiful ship that's just docking here. What was your name?"
Fuck, you've got me off guard here. I do have a name. I do have a name for him, actually. He says, "My name is Monda, good sir." He has a sort of a narrow face, copper hair, grey eyes, very worn kind of dock worker clothing, and he has several sort of pouches hanging from his belt.
I am going to go and shake his hand. I have these 10 large opals that I have, that I got at some point. So I'm going to put one in my hand
Mhm.
and palm shake it to him.
Oh yeah, and he instantly recognizes that gesture, picks up on it very quickly, and says, "La Floridita, did you say?" And he
That's correct. Yes.
pulls out his clipboard, and he says, "Well, we're all very busy here, so I think you'll have to excuse me, good sir, if we waive some of the formalities on inspections and paperwork and so on. I'm really behind at the moment.
No, that's
I'm
okay,
trying
man.
to-
Mondo, I can tell you're a busy man. That's fair enough.
Oh,
Don't worry.
you're very
We are
gracious, sir.
very reputable people. So you wouldn't find anything anyway.
Yes,
Like a bit of a wink
absolutely.
at
And
the end there.
he stamps some things and kind of hands you a receipt for docking at the port, and he says, "Oh, very very well. And look, how any news from the high seas? We've been hearing all sorts the last couple of days.
Yeah, I heard someone found that poor veneer.
The missing ship?
Yeah.
No."
Yeah, it turned out to be a big body mimic.
I've heard some tall tales. I've heard some rippers, but that is a good one. That it turned out to be a giant mimic. Yes,
and it was.
Yes,
and I'm
we
going
found
to.
the ship, but no, it was a squid the whole time.
I'm gonna persuade him into believing me.
Who would come up with something so ridiculous?
And I'm going to persuade him into believing me. And I'm going to tell him this whole story of how we fought them off and blah blah blah. As we walk down the dock, as the guys are setting up the ship.
Yeah, I think the fact
the
that he's panached and also bribed. I think he starts saying that makes sense and so on. By the end, is he believing it? Is it just because you put money in his hand? We don't know. But he's definitely going to retell that story for sure.
Hell yes.
Now that you've given him lots of good details.
Good, yeah, and a lot too.
Yeah.
And I
weirdly too much.
Yeah, like specifically too much. Yeah.
But
Mainly
also making
about
us sound really badass and intimidating.
That's exactly correct. Yes, and even especially the end scene. When they had Kairu in his this tentacled monster had Kairu in his grasps, and
tentacle monsters. Oof.
Mhm.
Yeah, we've been hearing all. Yeah.
Yeah, and then
all kinds of stories
I
about it.
aimed a gun at him, trying to convince him to give us back our crewmate, and he did. But then he ran away, and I was listening to what another crew member said, and that we don't kill them, and if we made a good deal. And then I shot off into the air, screaming like it was an action picture.
There's an action tall tale.
Yeah, yeah,
very good. Yeah, well, he seems well endeared to your story, and you have plenty of time to tell it as the ship is still. You've sort of ducked off the ship before it's even come into the port properly.
Yep.
And everyone's left there to do their jobs, tying ropes and flinging things overboard and whatever it is else that ship crews do. And he says to you, look, I'd be careful, mate. The seas are getting more dangerous of late. Have you heard of the infamous pirate captain, Captain Bun Bun?
Bun Bun.
Bun Bun.
No, I have not heard of this infamous captain.
Oh, well, you say you fought a ship that was a mimic. This is a captain whose the flag he flies the black. His flag is of a living chest, a mimic.
I hear he's terrified of them too.
Well, he chose what scares him the most. He's been through here recently, causing a lot of fear and concern for many of the merchants and the locals. However, they didn't break any laws here. They didn't attack any native ships.
Is there a price on his head?
I believe there is, though I wouldn't be collecting it from around here. And while some of the merchants would want that, would probably help you out, word to the wise friend, some of the locals wouldn't be so helpful.
Right. Well, Monda, you've been nothing but a gentleman. I'll say that. Thank you very much. And I will be on the lookout for this Captain Bun Bun. Oh, hello?
Yep. Sorry, I'm
Yeah,
saying. Yeah, I was just
Okay.
agreeing with you.
Yeah.
I'm just getting distracted by what the void dog is doing. Okay.
But yes, perfect. Thank you very much, Mr. Monda. I'll leave you to your busy day. Let you do what you need to do, and we will be on our way.
So you head into the tavern, I suppose.
Mhm.
Who gets to have shore leave here? Is it kind of it's a very small town, so it's not like people. There is forest and things like that beyond, or jungle kind of towards more the interior, but it's definitely not like the big city of Verdant.
Is
The Verdant
actually
Beacon.
speaking of this, so that way we can give everyone shore leave. Is there like a guard system or anything like that? Like we could pay to have people watch the ship?
Sure, he just says, yeah, like his guys look after it. There's only like 3 docks here anyway. Like this is, and a lot of the ships that are here are kind of small fishing vessels. Yours is probably the biggest ship here.
Cool. We'll leave all the undead on the ship.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Overtime
that's-
again.
Yeah. Yeah, that's exactly it. Straight
They're
into
in
the
perpetual overtime, to be fair.
yeah. And then I guess we'll get those guards just to watch it as well.
Yeah, cool, perfect.
And then everyone, you guys all want to go in? Let's do it.
Definitely. Let's do
And
it.
you also learn that the ship's name, the one with the mimic chest, is called the Sluggy Freelance.
What's that? Sorry.
The ship's name, I'll put it in the chat actually.
Okay.
Sluggy.
Sluggy Freelance.
Sluggy freelance.
Well, the Sluggy Freelancer, I guess. He's a privateer, and his flag is a mimic chest.
Perfect.
Sawn's been the whole time this is going on racking his brain what he can look for a way back in.
So Sorn looks ever thoughtful as you all head down the gangplank. Everyone else, though, Nesbit, Ratty, Reynard, everyone looking cheery, ready to, drink away the night. Yeah. Sorry to step on your toes. Just painting the scene.
All good. Wood trying to locate the portal. Help me. The portal that we came out of. Would the portal have the same signature of any other portal into the same area of the Feywild?
Excellent question. I think yeah, you think you could probably modify the spell to a certain extent that's on the scroll maybe, and kind of use it to try and hone in on a portal, like a Fey portal if there is one nearby, or at least one within sort of 1,000 feet, rather than an object in particular trying to find a type of object, right?
Yep. Okay. Well, I'm going to do that.
Okay. So everyone else heads off to, hit the bars, and get clean, get ailed, and get fooded up. Sorn, where do you hang out on the ship to do your research, or are you like holing up in the corner of the bar? Like, what's the?
I will do it from the ship. I'll just say, go on ahead. I'll catch up. I'm just gonna try and figure this out.
Haru eyes Sorn suspiciously, but does walk away.
Someone just gives a nice thumbs up. Until everyone is out of sight, and then he's like, like just waves his hand through the air, turns around, just like pulls the scroll out.
What's the crowd like in here?
The crowd is mostly kind of locals. Very, very tan, very similar to Dumruck here. You've got a combination of sort of tiefling boys and girls. A lot of halflings is a couple of humans and stuff like that too. But yeah, a lot of halflings. You also spot at least sort of one what looks like a dwarf, but one that has sort of almost like black patches on it, almost like scales. But underneath
Right.
that, it kind of looks like they're glowing a bit. Not covering their skin entirely, but like in patches on their skin.
How many people would you say like roughly be in here? And how much would a shout for the whole bar be?
It'd still be pretty cheap, I think. Maybe like we'll say 2 gold or something like that, right? To shout the whole bar.
You cut out there. What'd you say? Sorry.
Oh, sorry, 2 gold.
Sure. All right, I'll do that. Shout the whole bar, and then I'm going to tell them the story of the poor veneer.
Yes, excellent. Little bar, little seaside bar here. There you go.
Beautiful.
I've just put all your crew in there, really. Just I was lazy. But yeah, so you shout the bar. You know, you walk in. How many of you touched the Princess Pearls on your way in?
I definitely did.
Yeah.
Yeah, Yama does actually too.
Yeah, cool. Seeing all 3 of you do it, the 3 officers do it. Everyone else does. Obviously, Lot does it as well. And they're obviously quite large.
Reynard.
Sort of like a tennis ball sized, perhaps. These sort of brass balls that are hanging above the door. You all walk in, order around, and everyone kind of gives a bit of a hey. And there's probably certainly a moment, I think, when you first walk in, the kind of eclectic crew that you are. There is that kind of silence. People look at you. People are a little bit worried about what you're doing here, etc.
Mm-hmm.
But when you offer them a drink, of course, everyone seems really happy about that.
Perfect. Yep. And then yes, I will tell every person in here the story of the poor veneer, and then try get like the crew to like be interactive with it too while they're in here. You know, be that jolly fucking pirate crew.
Excellent. You notice with this place as well that there's sort of an upstairs area, sort of more private booths and things like that. But most of the drinking that's happening is sort of on this ground floor. And you're all kind of served relatively quickly. You know, drinks come out. And is there anything in particular you're trying to, apart from just get everyone on your side and kind of retell the story? Actually, give me a performance check.
Okay.
To see how well you retell the story in like a big group setting.
Where are we? Yeah, 15. Not terrible.
Yeah. Yeah, it's good. It's a pretty rousing story, especially with a bit of extra liquor in everybody. Sawn, you sit in your part of the ship, getting down to like looking at the scroll, seeing what small adjustments you can kind of try and make to it to change it from object to portal, etc. As you hear loud music taking up from the tavern next to you, seeping in through the windows and the hatches of Le Porvenir. La Floridita. As you try and work away into the night, and everyone else is getting a bit more loose.
Sawn will just reach into his bag and pull out his elven wine, and he'll drink that while he's working out what he's doing.
Cool.
I like to think I'm looking over the do we have a map table?
Sure. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm using that. Just
Yeah.
like both hands planted on the table, looking at it every so often. Mage hand brings over the glass of wine.
Very good. Occasionally the zombies shuffle up to you for orders. You tell them to go away. They shuffle away.
Technically in order.
Yeah. Cool. Yama, Karu, what are each of you doing? Lot has done. Lot goes up to the bar. She actually like pulls the cork. She has sort of like a cork on a string necklace, if you remember, that she took from the dead body in the other cell. She shows it to the bartender. He kind of nods, looks under the he reaches up to one of the top shelves, like pours her some sort of liquor from up there into a short glass, And she kind of thanks him and then just downs it and is just like, "Whew, all right. I'm going to the baths. Who's coming?"
Wait. What was that you just drank? And can I have one?
Oh, absolutely. Yeah. That's it's magma whiskey.
Ooh.
Sure.
One,
yeah,
please.
Yeah. Get us a whole round. Thank you.
Yeah. He looks at you and says, the bartender looks at all of you and says, I mean, her drink's free, but who's paying for you all?
I got it.
Oh, okay. I was going to say, definitely not me.
You have 500 gold.
I do? Oh, shit.
Yep, and so does Paulie. Has an extra 500 gold.
Oh, I
put it in
do?
the group chat the other week, but I don't
cool.
think anyone noticed it because I divvied up our spoils.
Yeah. I think.
Did you put some more into the pile for the ship?
I topped our ship pile up to 6k, and then
Right.
split the rest between everyone else.
Yeah, great.
So I think, for everyone who wasn't paying attention or wasn't with us, our lovely pirate council in the chat, the treasure they were able to recover from the Porvenir was a scroll of protection from plants, a scroll of protection from celestials, potion of lightning resistance, potion of hill giant strength, a sort of ointment, a fantasy Goshapon token, and 200 platinum.
Right, cool.
So that's all being kind of divvied up, is my
And
understanding.
the fantasy Bunnings token was either going to Karu or Yama.
Hell yeah.
Whoever wants it out of those two.
Oh.
Well, we can decide later when we get there.
Mm-hmm.
I can
Karu's
post
just
it at any time.
Karu doesn't have a concept of the money he has now. He's just like, oh. Yeah, he's like, how many shots would I get with this?
You could buy the bar.
Yeah, the bartender's eyes go wide. He looks from you to Lot, and says,
I think you could buy the bar twice over.
a gold piece will be fine, your lordship."
No, I don't like this power. And he puts the money away. I don't like what I've become. Puts it away.
I'll buy the
There's
round.
also a
I'll buy
note.
the round.
There's also a note accompanying the gold that's been given. Like, Sorn's handed the gold out with a little letter as well, saying if you don't like to manage your finances, you can go into the ship's coffers and divvy it out when you need it. Being the quartermaster.
Yeah.
He's done it very official.
Sorn Quartermastering 1-800 got your gold 375.
I reckon Karu nudges a lot and he's like, all right, let's go to these bars that you were talking about. I'm curious.
Definitely want to drink this Magnum whiskey first, though.
Oh, yeah, he's shot at his whiskey, but he's like, as someone who's like lived in water, I'm curious about this concept of paying to then sit in water.
Yeah.
How is it going to be different?
She's like, you will either love it or hate it. There's no in between.
Okay.
I'm definitely keen for it as well. I will buy. I actually. How much was it? How much was a bottle of that Magnum whiskey?
So it's about $1 a shot. $1 gold a shot. It's actually quite expensive. This is definitely sort of that top shelf kind of stuff. And when you shot it, you do feel sort of very warm inside. There's sort of like a warmth emanating out from you. Everyone except Yama's cheeks turn red. Yama's cheeks obviously already red.
Mine are red too.
No one can tell Paulie's cheeks, I suppose, underneath the feathers. Paulie's feathers perhaps stand up a little bit more to kind of like let the breeze flow through them.
Yep.
What breeze there is. You definitely feel sort of a warmth inside that kind of any kind of chills you had, any kind of coolness is sort of evaporates away.
How much is a bottle?
We'll say. How many shots would you have in a bottle?
24 shots in a bottle.
We'll say 24.
All right, done. So 24 gold. Done. I will chuck him 25 as a tip.
Yeah.
And then I am going to say, all right, how much to get my crew drunk for the night?
He says, he kind of looks out and he kind of sees like all your crew and he says, including the rat?
Especially the rat. Like very serious face.
Yeah. He says, well, it's it's an interesting crew you got there, but call it another 2 gold, and I think we can keep them happy for the rest of the evening.
All right, done. I'll give him 10 and say find some girls for him and boys.
Excellent. He says, "Right you are, sir," and he ushers them to sort of one of the back rooms, sort of like a private party-esque kind of area upstairs.
Perfect. All right, you guys have fun. Captain's paid for the night. Enjoy yourselves.
Reynard just gives you sort of a stern kind of nod, but like one of his spectral arms gives you a thumbs up, and I'm
gonna send him a roll like Nesbitt a hand grenade. You know.
Where'd you get a hand grenade?
I don't know. No, I'm just kidding. I don't actually have one on me. I just think it'd be funny. Just some gun. Actually, just some gun. Wait, didn't we grab some gunpowder?
Pouch of gunpowder now. Yeah.
Yeah. I'll give him some gunpowder.
Yeah. He instantly starts, putting lines of it on the table, and then striking flint to it. No, what did you think I was going to say?
Yeah, I know. I had the same reaction.
I was like, wow, he really loves his explosions.
Wow.
Just doing fat lines of gunpowder. Yeah, good on him.
Right. Yeah. And
you knew exactly where I'd take that.
Yeah, no, exactly. That was bait for sure. And the cleric of Lolth, formerly of Lolth, she's already sort of in a corner, the sort of the darkest corner of the bar with a dainty glass of wine, just kind of drinking and watching everything go forward.
Perfect. Can we just say some boys and girls just come out come out of the woodworks as we leave for the spa?
Yeah, absolutely. There's way to boys, way to girls, way to women, way to men. Halflings get up on tables, start dancing, just causing a pure entertainment of all types. Trays of food coming out. A lot of sort of seafood and a lot of sort of mango-based cocktails are being put together for this crew.
Sick. Do they seem happy?
Yes, yeah, they all seem very stoked. And then they're chatting with people as best they can in terms of the local patrons, kind of talking about your story and how they were absolutely essential, of course, to killing this giant mimic. Getting some of the details wrong because obviously they weren't really there.
Actually there, yep.
Yeah.
Perfect.
Cool.
Perfect.
All right.
Nice.
So Lot leads you deeper into sort of the interior of further away from the town itself. The houses closest to the shore obviously are a little bit bigger. Then they start becoming more kind of hut-esque as you get a little bit deeper, and you kind of head up a little bit up one of the mountains in this area until you come to a small hut where there's sort of screens and stuff like that, and there's some attendants who are just sort of hanging out here late at night or late in the afternoon, I guess, by the time you get there. And they're lighting torches. They welcome you. Lot goes and has a bit of a word with them. Those of you who can kind of can listen, I guess, you overhear that she just sort of says what her name is. She shows them the cork, and then talks to them a little bit quietly, and they say, "Oh, of course," and they come out to usher you in and to show you where to sort of fold and put your clothes and hand you some basic kind of towels. And you are led into a big sort of hot spring spa. It's all one kind of joint area, and we get a great moment. You're handed sort of cold towels as well if you want to sort of wrap a cold towel and put that on your head. And the attendants come out and bring you small sort of cups of tea and on little trays as well. If you would like to sort of hydrate. Kara, you look like you're about to say something.
I was just wondering, is this like a Japanese bath style thing where like you bathe first before you get into the bath, so like you're clean before you get into the...
Yeah, I think so. I think that this is definitely onsen kind of style hot spring where there's buckets of water to kind of wash yourself down a little bit, and then you're led into sort of the communal bathing pool effectively.
So like Karu has no concept of bathing because he's a sea elf. So that whole situation, he gets borderline antagonistic when they're like, no, you've got to like bathe before you can get in the hot springs. He's like, what are you talking about? I'm going to be wet in the hot spring. Why have I got to get wet first? And then it gets revealed to the party that like Karu never bathes. He never bathes. He's never done that before because he always lived underwater. So he's just kind of like really like just I think he has to get placated. Yeah, at one point it has to be like, I think Lot
comes over and will be like, oh, it's kind of ceremonial. Like it's a cleaning thing where you're using fresh water now so you don't bring in the salt water into the fresh water.
Different kinds of water. Okay. So, no, all right. I'm and he's just kind of like staring at the pail, like he just dumps it over his head. He's like,
yeah,
like that.
Sure, that's fine.
Okay.
Lot, takes her kid off, has a towel, but is not, overly shy or anything like that. And it's at this point you notice as she's leading the way, walking into the greater spa pool area, that her back is sort of covered in these tattoos.
Oh, cool.
Very similar to Damrock here, but hers seem to kind of glint a little bit in the firelight of the sunset.
I think Karu comes up to her and he's like, "Can your tattoos do things too?"
Yeah. She looks at yours and it's like, "Oh, yeah." And she kind of shows. She goes, "Oh, well, this one's for protection, and this one kind of gives me like a mental strength if I need to overcome something sort of mental."
Ooh.
This one is, well, it's really only to be used in sort of dire circumstances. It's if I need to if I really need to call down the volcano goddess onto something, usually an undead.
Awesome. Who did him?
Yeah, did you get them here in town?
Not here. No, they're it's part of my order. It's
okay.
The a lot of people call us the Golden Guardians.
Cool. Yeah, they're awesome.
And she's like, oh yeah, so and she kind of flexes her back muscles a little bit, and that one she showed you that was for defense sort of lights up and glows golden.
Yeah, sick. Yeah, mine only just like makes an attack more powerful. That's all. Like it's just a little bit of strength. Yeah, and yeah, I think I got it from.
Did you have to overcome trials? Is that part of your church?
Mm-hmm. He's like, look, I feel like I woke up with this.
I know that feeling sometimes too.
Yeah. So maybe there was a trial and I got knocked on the head. Or maybe I just,
Well, this one was for, this one was for killing my first undead. This one was for, sort of destroying my first, cursed item. And this one is just sort of in general for, sort of deeds accomplished and so on.
Cool. They look cool.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Thank you. Yours, I like yours too. It's interesting. I didn't know there were others with the craft.
I mean,
it makes sense. It makes sense though.
Yeah, I feel like I think I really wish I could remember where I got so many of these things, but like maybe it's the same people. Maybe some people from your church got like swindled into doing this. I don't know. The people that I was with weren't particularly like good, so like, they probably would have done something like that. Or maybe we had someone like that ourselves. I don't know.
It could be. I mean, it's definitely sort of an old custom, an old tradition. I just didn't know. I thought only we kind of did that stuff. It makes sense that others have kind of kept it and perhaps kept it a bit of a secret.
I mean, this also could have been the military I was with as well. Like,
you were in the military. Like,
yeah.
Like the Royal Navy?
Dan, is that it?
The Royal Navy's like the red, like is the Red House.
Okay, cool. Yeah. So,
you're in Team Blue.
Yeah. He's like, no, I don't. That doesn't sound familiar. I don't think we were with them.
You met part of the Royal Navy, if you remember, when you first came to these waters. I think it was.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah. We hid the we hid the thing.
It was very long time.
Yeah.
We hid. Yeah, we hid the Rothe.
Yeah.
What?
That's definitely a long time, yeah.
Paulie is also naked, but except he still has his hat on. But
Yeah.
which makes it glaringly obvious how naked he is because his hat is on. No towel, nothing. He's just straight, hat dicking it. And he's like, yeah, I mean, like, look, you guys, your tattoos are really cool. I've got one, and I mean, no, I'm not really proud of it. I kind of just woke up with it. It has this, Ara Cochrane lady that I met one night out in the town. I think she got my name tattooed as well. I don't really know, but it's right on my butt cheek.
You turn around to show it, and she's like,
Like I move the feathers a bit.
Yeah. And she's like,
Tara's like expecting it, like he's like gotten real close, like, oh yeah.
Oh,
Josie.
She must be really.
All up
like,
in there.
oh, Ymir. She must be really lovely.
No, the other cheek. No, sorry, the other cheek.
Sorry. Rattan. Yes.
Yeah.
Sorry.
That was a very big night. Small pleasures, big night though.
Yeah.
Was it just like
At that
Ymir
point,
with
Ymir-
like,
it was the girth.
out?
It was the girth.
Yeah, at this point, Ymir just comes out of the floor as a lich, just hits Paulie with a hammer and then disappears again.
Somewhere in the underworld, Ymir's ears are burning.
Yeah, but that was another night.
Yeah.
Still rock hard.
Yeah. So she says, I mean, you guys handled yourselves very well on the Porvenir. I mean, I was just there to deal with the undead threat. I really didn't think it was going to escalate into a deep sea kind of creature. I'm not really there yet in my training. We do try and deal with a lot of underwater threats, but that's kind of more the Divine Church's remit.
Look, you handled yourself pretty well. And I mean,
I was locked in a cage.
yeah, but I mean, when you were
could've
out of
done
the
that.
cage,
She did use all her healing really quickly, so like,
it did save us.
I feel like Kara's like, I just tell it how it is, lot. You saw me go unconscious like 3 times. Like I clearly don't know what the fuck I'm doing either.
No, but you're so you're just so enthusiastic, I think. I think the technique probably needs a little bit of work, but the enthusiasm is there, and I think we all see that.
Okay, thank you. I feel like I'm being condescended to, but
I feel like
there's a
right
compliment
in there. Like I think you were the first person to really. Well, you and Yama here were the first people to trust me. So you obviously have very good intuition. I think she's saying this as she's like unbraiding like bits of coral from her hair and like putting it to the side so she can kind of like let her hair out a little bit. And get it all kind of in the experience.
Paulie loudly whispers to Karu, "I think she's hitting on you." while hands on hips, hat dicking it. You know what I mean? Like
Kara's just like with the little towel around his waist, just like
master of subtlety.
Thanks, Paulie.
When Paulie's hat dick in it, is he like a duck, still only ass just touching the water, or is he fully submerged up to like the chest? Like
See, I mean, like, definitely, like every chance. Because he could float. That's a good point. I feel like he's definitely trying to hold himself under.
Yeah. So,
Oh, no, yeah.
Or I'm trying to think, is every chance he gets when he has to like go get another cup of tea, it's crotch out of the water.
Yes, every
like
time.
leaning forward.
Every single
Like
time.
flexing and leaning.
Yeah.
Like every single time, I am definitely like, yeah. There's no subtlety whatsoever. Just hat dicking it straight up. You know what I mean? It's very obvious and like, yeah.
Good. Love that. She says, so yeah, you've got a mix of a crew, a bunch of drow, the zombies I really can't get behind, but Karu told me that I shouldn't smite them down as soon as I got on the ship. I was a little bit worried that your ship was also overrun by undead.
I don't know. You just got to give him a chance.
No, they're fine. They're good mates of our ghost friend Kingston Rage and Rolls.
Oh, so you're friends with ghosts?
Yeah, one ghost.
Okay.
I mean, he gave us the ship.
Oh, that's nice. I guess the undead I deal with are always,
Trying to murder you. Yeah, no, look.
Yeah.
I mean, look, he definitely could have tried to murder us, but I mean, you got to be nice to him and talk to him. Like they're, still people.
Some of them, not so much.
I mean, yeah.
Our motto is, well, our kind of thing is to rid the world of undead and undeath and necromancy. To be the curing flame.
It's a noble goal.
The light of Pele, the volcano bringing forth the fire.
And look, yeah, I think it's a noble goal. I mean, just sometimes, you can meet good people. I mean, just it's not their fault they died and then, came back as a ghost.
No, it's usually not their fault. It's the fault of some kind of evil necromancer.
Yeah.
So you go after the necromancer more so than the undead. Because like the undead, they're like clerks. They're just fulfilling the job.
So the
necromancers.
I shouldn't be going after the street level necromancy. I should be going after the dealers and the distributors.
That's exactly it.
Yeah,
yes.
you got to go after the man. You got to go after necromancers. That's what you got to do.
The necromans. Yes.
The necromans. That's who you got to go after. You got to break the system from the top. Free the people at the bottom.
I didn't want to say anything because you guys all saved my life and your moody friend, he seems okay. You do know he's sort of carrying what feels like an item of great necromancy. It's broken, it's shattered, but it's definitely got some like necromantic.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, no, he's into some spooky shit.
Yeah, like he's got a sleeve that just swallows shit. Like we don't know what he's got half the time. Apparently he's got shards that if he puts them under people's pillows, they can get nightmares. Considering I've been having nightmares for the last couple of sleeps, I'm a little spooked by that.
Yeah.
He said it wasn't him, but he also tried to be all like, oh, I have nightmares too, but he's asleep.
Right. Yeah. I mean, I haven't had any nightmares while I was on your ship, so he didn't put anything under my bed.
Me.
We cut over to Sawn
Oh,
is putting shards under her bed. And then he's like, wait, no, bad idea.
Yeah, you see him like waiting there in her room, thinking about it, just really hard.
So no, that's a bad idea. She'll probably smite me. Oh, that was a stupid idea. Back to the scroll.
Yeah, good.
I also like to think that the map room is now covered in pieces of paper, and like when everyone eventually walks back in, they're just going to get that Charlie Day scene where he's got the hand on the paper and he's just like,
and there's like a
freaking out.
map of the island with string to everywhere.
Yeah, that's Sawn's whole thing right now.
Perfect. All right. Lot says, well, I mean, where are you headed next? Because I mean, this is a fine spot. I probably need to head back up north, but our places are kind of all around. So I mean, if we're going the same way, like I'm happy to, and you're happy to have me tag along, I'm happy to come along.
I think Karu nudges her in like the side, like, "Oh, you want to keep hanging out, do you?"
Yeah. I mean, if that's okay. You all seem pretty handy in a fight, and you know the solo act. Well, you know, on the last mission probably didn't end super great, so I'm kind of hesitant to go out, strike out on my own alone.
Yeah, I mean, look,
So
I'm
quickly.
definitely cool with it if you guys are.
Mm-hmm.
But you know, just till you get sort of near a port that's you know a bit closer to where my people are, and then you know I'll be out of your hair, and I'll stop, you know, using up your deck space.
Yeah, no, it sounds good to me. If you guys are up for it, I'm cool for it too.
Yeah, we don't really have a direction at this moment in time, do we?
Oh,
I mean, we've got things that we want to do. It's just
I overheard you guys saying you're going to the Fae, though.
we're trying to
Yeah.
work
Is that a
that
thing?
out.
We
Yeah.
definitely need some direction and information. Do you know anything?
The Fae is not really my kind of realm. It's I'm more about the light.
Mm,
Would
yeah.
you know anybody who does know something?
Well, there are obviously there's the Great University. Anything magical related to, you know, ley lines, magic, etc. They're usually sort of the go-to kind of place people to chat with. If it's sort of deep sea related, there's the Divine Church. They're more kind of, you know, the sea god, and they're meant to be stamping down any kind of kraken and, you know, deep sea fish monstrosity kind of stuff. This doesn't really help you with your Fey nonsense. Trying to think, and she's kind of like leaning back in the bath. I guess if you could find some elves, they're typically about that kind of life, you know, but you'd need the sort of like the wood elves, or kind of like the jungle elves. You could maybe head out into the mangroves and see if you can find any living out there. There's a bunch that live out there and commune with spirits and stuff. They might be able to help you, point you in the right direction.
I mean, it's more of a direction than what we've got at the moment.
Yeah, I think you just want to get close. Like, it's the Fae, right? You want to get close to nature. You want to get lost in
Absolutely.
nature, and then, I mean, the Fae comes to find you sometimes.
Yeah. And I think considering we have something of great importance and he thinks of the watch, it's like, I feel like, yeah, the Fae's going to find us at some point.
Yeah. It can be a very unpredictable realm, though. It's, you know, words are laws, emotions are growth, feelings can be weather. I prefer to stay grounded.
Yeah, no, I don't. I prefer to float.
If you get a chance, though, you should definitely check out some of the volcanic forges on some of these islands. Some of the best magma dwarves craftsmanship I've seen in many, many years coming out of there lately.
I would love to see that.
Yeah, I mean, the weapons you all have are obviously what seem like excellent make, especially you, Yama. I didn't know that the Goblin Empire could crank out things like that. More power to you. I'm glad we don't have to deal with those guys, or at least haven't had to in a while. I think that's sort of the Navy's prerogative to deal with your people. No offense.
None taken.
But yeah, if you're ever looking for well constructed things, we try and get all our best stuff from them, and then we take it a step further and kind of enchant it with divine light. But if you want something solidly made, they're definitely the go-to, and we work really close with them in that we both have a connection to the volcano spirits.
Wait, solidly made, you said?
Yeah. They've got the hottest forges. I mean, there's there's obviously the volcano throne, but that's that's the prince's stuff. I don't think the prince is going to let you wander in there. I know you're very charming, Paulie, but I don't think the prince is just going to let you wander in there.
I don't know. As you said, I am pretty charming.
But
while still hat dicking it, you know what I mean?
Yeah. She says, "Well, I mean, if you could, rumor has it that the prince hasn't been seen in a little while, so maybe they say he went to go find find a wandering island in search of knowledge how to mend a broken heart, and people start talking. He hasn't been around for a while."
We have heard from others that the volcano throne stands empty at the moment.
Yeah.
Mm.
That's concerning. I know. Who told you?
I think we heard it from. Oh man, I do wish I'd written it down. Was it the Navy guys? I feel like we overheard it somewhere.
The Navy guys did mention that. You're right.
Was it the
That's
Navy?
worrying. If
The
look,
word
prince-
has spread that far.
Yeah, and that was you came from out east.
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah. Well, I mean, we're kind of in the interior to a certain extent here, but if it's spread all that way, that's worrying. The prince is meant to hold the islands together, spiritually, politically. If he's not around, you may want to start picking sides or get out of the way.
That's troubling indeed.
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised if have you been approached at all by anyone trying to get you on their side? I mean, you probably know if the trading company had come to you that I assume you would have a lot more money than you do now.
What was that? Sorry, I missed that last part.
Has anyone approached you?
Nah, not yet. Actually, waiting for that.
Interesting. Well, I don't have the say in these things, but if you ever want to go around killing undead, your girls over here, we could always use the help.
Yeah, I mean, look, if you want to come join us for a bit, I'm definitely keen for that, and we can just see where it goes from there.
Yeah, as long as you aren't getting into necromantic shit, it kind of goes against my order. Anything super evil.
I'd just stay away from Sorn then, but other than that, the rest of us are good.
Sure. Okay. Yeah. I'll hang around for a while until you, until something better comes along.
The best part is
I
Sorn is
would-
quite literally evil shit that fucks with necromantic stuff.
Yeah. We cut back to Sorn in his workshop, drawing pentagrams.
Laughing maniacally.
The
Talking
ship
to a
starts to
skull
grow.
with a candle on it.
The ship's starting to grow tentacles. Sorn's cracked the code.
Sorn's like digging corpses up out of the local graveyard.
It's like ears burning again. Like, what is going on?
Yeah.
It's like, all right, I'll put him back. Just reburies the corpse and walks back to the ship.
it's like one of those those military drills when you clean your gun. You're just seeing how fast you can unbury dig up a corpse and then put it back in.
Yeah, how quickly I can rob a grave.
Yeah.
Someone walks away with like a newly minted copper piece.
Very good. Yeah. So any other questions you have for Lot, or any other sort of?
Yeah, I'm
cool scenes you wanna
I guess I'm kind of curious. She
I've
mentioned she was
got to hop
going-
off soon, pretty soon though too, guys. I do
That's right.
apologize.
We'll go for the next, we'll go for another 5-10 minutes, and then we'll be good.
I was just wondering where you're headed, Lot. You mentioned north.
Yeah. So I have we have communities kind of all over. We're a little bit spread out in Aurora. I was there's a city up north that I was dispatched from to Felkey, and so I'd probably like to head back there at some point and kind of just let them know the success of the mission. They detected a lot of sort of necromantic undeath energy and kind of sent me out to go deal with it. I really did not expect a ship to come alive and try to digest me. That was really not part of the intelligence that I was given. And I heard you mentioning that you ran into some other people in the hold. I was trying to think, had she bailed by that point? No, she bailed as soon as the water started rising. So I don't think she saw that whole thing play out.
Yeah, she didn't.
Oh,
No, she didn't.
Yeah. Okay. No. Yeah.
She's like, oh yeah, I mean, I saw you guys looting stuff from there. Like, look, you guys saved my life. Not my problem. As long as we're not going to cause more of those things. But yeah, Karu, you were all beat up and stuff when you came out of there. I had to kind of revive you a few times, so I'm not surprised.
I mean, you take on a ship, like, you're gonna get hurt, pretty much.
Yeah. I've never had to fight a ship before.
Me either, it's wild.
It is wild. And it kind of kept trying to show me things in my brain. That was creepy.
Yeah, there were a few moments like that, right? Yeah, and you said you were there alone, right? So you didn't know the other fellow in the cage across from you?
Oh, yeah. I mean, he wasn't part of the order. He had when I turned up to the Porvenir and kind of booked passage aboard, I don't think it was, well, it might have been already transformed to that stage, but I didn't think it was. I think that was like happening over time while I was there. But he's kind of sold me out, stole my cork, and cursed himself for doing that. And then we ended up both getting thrown in the brig. So, can't trust every smuggler you meet, I suppose. There's just no honor among thieves anymore, is there?
Words to live by.
Well, I'm not a thief. I just want nothing against thieves. But
Yeah, because I definitely am.
I overheard you talking about the watch that you stole.
Paulie still has the watch on him because he's attuned to him. So he just pulls out of his feathers and starts swinging it around.
Still so chubby.
Look, I can do it. I can do it twice, and I start swinging my dick around.
Very good.
Oh, God.
Any other questions, Kate?
No.
Cool. Well, I think we're getting to that time. Paulie's got to get to bed. He's a big bird. He's got to have his good night's sleep.
Mm-hmm.
And I think we will pick up tomorrow, as in tomorrow in game, but hopefully next week we'll pick up with Sorn, hopefully having the answer of how to find the closest way into the Fae. Unless there's anything you want to cover off, Dill, before we call it a sesh.
Nah, just trying to figure out that scroll. Although the Best part was I've been looking for magical tattoos for a while now, and the one time I don't leave the ship, they start talking about them.
Yeah.
Well, she did say it wasn't here, if that helps.
Yeah. Yeah.
Cool. All right. Well, thank you very much, everyone, and especially thanks to the Pirate Council. Obviously, the people who subscribed. I saw Kate, you were part of that crew, throwing in subscriptions. Josh, Fireworks, Bunbury, the captain himself, of course, as well. That means going into next week, you should have at least 4 inspiration points, I think, in the pool ready to go for whatever ails you, which you may need when you go into a Fey realm to return or extort a evil Shadowkai couple who have come from a dark dimension. And I wish you all the luck.
Thanks, Dan.
Thanks,
See you all
Dan.
next week. Bye-bye.